What's up, you beautiful people? Welcome back to another video. It is I, Savage. I've been gone for a while. I want to explain my absence. I want to explain what I'm going to be doing with the channel moving forward, what you can consistently expect from me, and then I'm going to show you one of the things that I'm going to be doing, and that'll all make sense the more I talk. So first of all, I am very sorry that I have gone. I really disliked the gear, all the stuff around gear related to Dark and Darker. And it's the same reason why I stopped playing The Cycle and I stopped playing Star Siege Dead Zone. These are games, and of course Dark and Darker, obviously. These are games I was very passionate about. But because of gear, it's just such an annoying thing to deal with. I eventually just stopped playing and kind of got depressed because that's how I made my, channel was built on that game. And then I got depressed and I was like, I don't feel called to do this anymore. And I just kind of stepped away. And I'm sorry for that. It was more so that I couldn't really, I didn't know how to rationalize that and to keep it going. And I didn't know what else to share. So I kind of felt just useless and like I had nothing to offer, and kind of ashamed of myself because I set this expectation to, make these videos and I didn't. And, some of you might be going, bro, it's just a gaming channel. Like, relax. But I also like making videos for you, and it was a big passion of mine, and I lost it. But the great thing about that is it really prepared me for this new pivot. And the new pivot is going into casting a very old game, a 20-plus year old game called Age of Mythology. Now, I have a big purpose behind casting this very old game, because if I was just to cast a very old game, sure, there's a niche audience, but it's super old. It's not likely to attract more people to that. However, Age of Mythology is actually getting a new, basically it's getting resurrected. It's going to be called Age of Mythology Retold. They're bringing just gorgeous graphics, as well as some gameplay changes. And their intention, as the developers in the studio, gaming studio that's creating this, has stated, their intention is to make it esport worthy, on par with Age of Empires, the newest, latest one. And they're actually hosting a tournament for $10,000 in October in, I want to say, Spain. I might be fucking that up. Live tournament. You go to Spain, compete live, buy tickets, watch it. It's crazy. And they don't even have a release date for the game itself, but that's set in stone. And I'm very optimistic that this is going to be a really great resurrection, if you will. So my intention is to create gaming videos around this to get myself cast worthy for when the proper next iteration of Age of Mythology Retold, is released. I will be a competent caster by practicing on Age of Mythology Extended Edition, and I will hopefully also have improved my ability to play against other live players, real human players, but I'm so bad, and I'm just kind of practicing my downtime. But mainly what you can expect from me is casting of games. And that's the pivot I'm going to be making. I've rebranded all of the Patreon roles. I've created a brand new Discord. I know I deleted the last one without any notice. I'm sorry. It was very abrupt. It's not so much of like I didn't care about you as I cared so much about you. And I was so ashamed of myself that I couldn't even, speak to you guys, because I just felt so bad that I felt like I had no direction, no purpose. And I tried coming back a couple times, but it just didn't hit, But this hits. I'm lit the fuck on fire about this, and I feel so passionate about casting these games. I'm having so much fun. It's very exciting. The future is very exciting. I'm pumped to see how Age of Mythology Retold ends up unfolding, the changes, how it all plays out, how it looks. I'm just very, very excited for the whole thing. and I want to give you games. The intention is every single day, release one game a day, barring, having shitty internet issues. Because I have good internet, but it's not like fiber optic, so we'll see. The intention is one cast per day, but don't hold me to that. But you can consistently expect to see me uploading videos where I'm commenting on games and showcasing them and bringing a lot of passion and bringing a lot of enthusiasm. So I'm sorry for the absence. I'm very excited to bring you a new chapter for this channel and give you a little update on why I took that leave of absence and now the new direction moving forward. And on top of that, I'm excited to bring you my very first cast. Not actually, I did a bunch of them, but there was like technical difficulties, and then there's like one match ended up being like 3 hours. I didn't realize that. I commentated for 40 minutes, and I'm like, this shit's not fucking ending. Then I checked the timeline, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like 1/4 of the way done. These people are going to be here playing for fucking days. So it's been a lot of touch and go and learn as you go, but I'm very excited to bring you the first match for Age of Mythology. I'm going to have a section in the new Discord where you can upload your recorded Age of Mythology matches that you personally play. I'm happy to cast all games, all gods. Doesn't matter if you're playing Chinese or whatever. It doesn't matter. Skill levels, happy to cast whatever skill level you happen to be. Just make sure it's a good match. Make sure it's not super long. Make sure you feel good about it when you upload it. And if I take a look at it and it's of the proper time and I deem it fit, then I will cast it and be very excited to do so. And of course, if you are very excited to come with me on this journey and support me in creating these videos and support me in taking this next step, you can also tap the link in the description to sign up as a patron to donate and receive so many different goodies. If you haven't checked that screen in a while, double check it again, because I have a lot of other special rewards for everybody who signs up to become a patron that were not there before. And also new titles, of course. So check that out if you want to support me making videos for you and making them very entertaining. And without further ado, let's get into this match. Okay, welcome everybody to today's game. We have, I'm just going to say Duncan playing Odin on the top as blue, and Giba playing Kronos as the red player at the bottom. And I believe this map is called Tundra. Correct me if I am wrong. Let's get into it. Norse versus Atlantean. Pretty cool. So we have a nice little section of hunt over here. Lot of hunt. Hunt heavy map. Very, very nice to see. Both players moving out. Pulling the goats in. Getting some more citizens trained up. There we go. Some citizens trained up. Coming over to this hunt. Scouting out with these oracles.
Bullreg.
Very good. What a pretty map as well. If you just look at the textures. Snow with the dirt. Very nice. We have a gold mine up here. Gold mine back here. Gold mine here, here. Tons of resources. A little, not the greatest amount of trees, but a fairly decent amount of trees. Love this. Giba's bankrolling some resources here. I don't see one thing to note though, I do not see hunting dogs. No economic guild for Giba here. However, we should be seeing hunting dogs researched for... Is there any way to see that anywhere? Yes, hunting dogs have been researched for Duncan, so he is going to get those hunted animals. He's going to gather much more quickly. If we look, it is a... Does it say the exact amount? It does not, but I believe it's 30% more speed when gathering from hunted animals. There was a deconstruction used. Where was that? I totally missed it. Oh, no, sorry. It was not. It was not, I'm looking at, looking at Duncan's. Giba still has his deconstruction. Temple going up very, very quickly, I might add. We may be seeing a rush here of some sort. Still no economic guild. Also getting some damage, chip damage onto the Oracle Scout. Duncan continuing to train villagers. He is going to be behind age-wise. Oh, we are definitely seeing a rush. Giba is putting his temple very, very close. And he has no idea that this is here, that this is happening. He's going to be aging up. As soon as he has enough food, he is putting all of his villagers... I believe all of his villagers. No, just the 4. Okay, he's continuing to spread it out. But where are his other ones? Where am I missing his other units at? Am I completely blind? 4. I must be missing something. Is he bringing them over? It says he has a lot more villagers than he has. It's because I'm looking at the wrong one. So he did have all of his soldiers on food as he was researching Prometheus, getting enough food to age up, and then reallocating his citizens, to the other resources he's going to need. 1 oracle. I'm assuming he's going to bring back his oracles to get a valor off. 2 oracles. And the 3rd one coming back now. Very good. Duncan, still no temple up. He's going to be very, very far behind and very susceptible to getting harassed by this Promethean coming out, as well as the upgraded oracles that are going to pop off very, very shortly here. We do... Oh, excuse me. Look at this. We do have a temple, a cheeky temple over here. So there's going to be some aggression from the Norse player as well, but he's now worshiping Freya, going for those... Valkyrie and the Forest Fire. Giba now has his age off. He's going to be pushing forward now with the Valor, I'm assuming, and the Promethean. Oh boy. Yep, there's the Valor. I would have loved to see a citizen up here getting maybe some of this caribou to get take advantage of that Valor that popped off. Tower going down. Giba is... Excuse me. Duncan is moving his dwarves off this area. Almost done aging up. Got some Herser. Some more also... Oh, the Raven's coming out to scout. Herser coming up to maybe put down some military buildings close to the base of Giba. So much aggression from both players. The Promethean has been taken down, split up. He's going to be wanting to take out these towers. Oracle, he should be pulling back and attacking from this angle here to prevent getting damage. He might lose one of these if he's not careful. He is going to lose one of those oracles. Counterbarracks shifting into place, keeping up the non-stop aggression. Tons of aggression coming from Giba here. If we look at Duncan, he is getting more Herser out onto the field. I wonder if we're going to see some longhouses soon. Not quite, but he is going to harass with his Herser. Move in, poke around, see what he can pick off. Maybe deny the citizens over here. Maybe take the tower out. That is safe. That is a safe kill for this tower. If we go back to Giba, continuing with these Prometheans to shred this tower. Training up another Promethean. Is he just, okay, nonstop training of Prometheans coming in here. And they're going to be fairly effective because all the military unit of Duncan, all of his military units are on this side, putting pressure on the base of Giba, denying his villagers with his Valkyrie, coming in, just putting some pressure on, annoying them, getting them off of gathering resources. This is not the case for Giba. He is pushing dwarves off, so he is accomplishing a similar goal, but he does have these villagers out here for Duncan that can safely gather hunt, whereas Giba should be denying, Duncan should be denying Giba of this hunt here and just keep him confined to his base so that he can't get any food resources. That would be pretty huge. Yes, he does have a gold mine. Yes, he does have wood that he can get fairly safely from his base, but his hunt can be denied if we see some more units come in here, as we do. Very nice. Giba is continuing to put the pressure on to these villagers. But honestly, I want to say that Duncan has the advantage here. It's because he has more military buildings compared to Giba. Duncan is putting more pressure on this area, taking down this manor, even coming in to just get in the face of these citizens. He does have this food, which is also relatively safe. But again, more units continuing to stream out, continuing to put pressure on. This is probably going to population block Giba. More Terma coming out, more Prometheans. Very interesting to see who is going to end up being victorious here. Mermillo being the good cavalry counter for the Atlantean. These raiding cavalry need to get away and just try to maybe come over here. I would take this tower down, if at all possible, to then open up a free range to just harass these citizens. These Terma coming in, killing off these villagers. Promethean coming in, killing off this ox cart, putting pressure on this wood gathering. Honestly, Duncan should just try to slip these villagers out, and preferably have done this earlier to gather wood from this section while he continues to get hunt here, and maybe do the same thing with the gold mine up here. Another manor coming up on this side, military barracks. This manor is going to be going down. More pressure from the Norse player here. This tower is going down by these Prometheans. Both players putting a great deal of pressure on each other. Early aggression. I really like seeing this. It's not always like this in these games. It's a little bit more laid back. These Prometheans are just dealing so much damage. Along with the Terma pelting them from range. But what's the Pierce attack? What's the Pierce armor? 25%, so not a ton of Pierce armor. They are getting whittled down. But I don't know. I think the Atlantean player is ahead. If he just scouts with a couple Terma, if he just sends a couple Terma, one Terma over here, one Terma over here, just to scout these areas out, he will be able to see these villagers here. He did sneak some dwarves out. I don't know if that was when exactly that happened. So he is getting some gold. I would love to see him move the ox cart here, get these berries, get the dwarves mining. But right now I have to give it to our Atlantean player. He is doing a much better job at containing the enemy, whereas his own resources are pretty much impeded. He's getting wood, he's getting gold, he's getting food. Yes, his hunt's denied. He can't really move out, but very easily he could just shift into farms to combat that. Or try just to sneak some citizens out, maybe over here to this caribou area, work his way up to these aurochs. More Tremor circling, just easy tower to take off. That's what you should really bring these units to here just to take that down. There you go, there you go. But yeah, Giba is just doing a fantastic job at confining Duncan to his base. Duncan moving out with a little bit of an army here. Seeing what damage he can cause, what chaos he can cause. I'd love to see some more units from Giba. Maybe some more military barracks. Maybe one more. Train some more units on this side as well. He's out of... Oh, he's supply blocked. He needs a mana up right here on his base, preferably. He's got the resources for it. He should be putting it down. This is not good. This population block is crippling him. He could be getting off a deconstruct on one of these longhouses to slow the tide. Potentially. He could be valoring up with a few more Millo to get even more resources, more value from his citizens. We now see Duncan just getting a lot of value from this position here. He is going to have to get another ox cart up here. Smuggle went out to max. Oh, I love this. He is scouting. If he just goes down a little bit more, he'll see. Because he knows more armies being created. So he's like, where the fuck are these resources you're getting, bro? Oh, now we see. Now we see. Giba's now very much aware of the units that Duncan has up here. And that is going to be a crippling blow. Temple goes down, unfortunately, with the help of a forest fire. I'm pretty sure that's what allowed that to go down so quickly. Manor's coming up here, but it's being denied. Good pressure from Duncan, just denying gathering, denying construction. Giba needs to pull back his forces here. And put pressure. He needs to come down with his army as he's doing. As he's doing, and put pressure on this location to deny resources. But Duncan is going to be able to stabilize here because there's not enough army putting pressure here. The window that Giba had to really take advantage of, the lead he created, is now diminished because this is going to get cleaned up. He's now able to gather at his base, so it doesn't matter so much now. If he would have found this earlier, that would have been a much more devastating blow. Although this is great, he's going to be able to stabilize here, so it's not a bigger deal. Whereas Giba cannot stabilize as easily. His citizens are getting killed. He's losing so much citizens. Another citizen goes down. It's 2 citizens. This one might get downed easily if he's not paying attention. Come on, get in there, get in there. Oh, he might lose another one. Oh, my God. Please. Please, he's going to go all the way to the manor. That's the problem. Oh, my God, he's going to lose another one. Jesus. Another citizen goes down. Terrible. This manor gets denied. These manors are going to go down. Military dying to this bigger army composition because they're just popping out one at a time and just getting surrounded. This military building getting cleaned up. Yes, these villagers are getting pressure on. Not even enough of an army to really kill these villagers. So most of them are probably all going to get away. Now, Duncan is able to stabilize, gather some gold, clean up these goats, maybe transition into farms, perhaps move out this way to these elk, And the pressure is not being continually applied. I don't like that he's giving Giba some breathing room. These villagers can pop out to start gathering resources. They are losing. He did get a Valor off, so that's good. These Hero Murmillo will help a little bit. Counter barracks transferring back. He's probably going to lose it though. That's kind of a little late. These villagers need to get back on resources because he's hurting for resources. He's not going to be able to keep up production for his military units. Whereas Duncan, although he's also hurting for resources, he has more villagers available. He needs to bring his army now to clean up these little raiding units that are around his base. Just the Terma. Terma's cleaned up. Villagers took care of that. They heard my call for action, and they answered it very willingly. And now Duncan is properly stabilized. I don't like that he's moving out. Not a fan of this. He needs to be continuing to put pressure on, continuing to train units to take care of the military of Deba, and not give him a chance to stabilize. Picking off his counter barracks, continuing to harass his citizens. These citizens are being able to harvest resources scot-free, completely undetected. But I'm not a fan of Duncan backing off here. His borders are secure. This is a missed opportunity, a loss of advantage, a waste of advantage, because he's giving Giba now a chance to stabilize, get resources, train up more military, and move out with a bigger force. He does have these deconstructs, so he can, if need be, take down one of the longhouses to shorten production even further and give himself even more chance to stabilize. House goes down. That does population block Duncan. So we're going to see no more units coming out. Raiding cavalry and Valkyrie coming over to put pressure on. I really like that. But he needs to bring his other majority of his army back over. I don't know if Allspark and Herser is the right call here, because he's losing his military buildings just to these Murmillo. He needs some units to deal with these. Some Herser, more houses, good, very good. He's getting Valkyrie. I mean, that's going to be useless against the hero Murmillo. He can have raiding cavalry, and he does have plenty of cavalry. If he just stops making Valkyrie, stops making raiding cavalry, takes his existing raiding cavalry and just uses it to put pressure, like he's doing now, and then transition into making Herser, making Allspark. Perhaps if there's any other great counter, I don't know if there's throwing axemen. Obviously, I believe that's, let me see here. Throwing axemen, good against infantry. So that would be the proper counter. So getting some throwing axemen out, which he is, but his population blocked. So we're going to see some of those now starting to come out. That's going to be very, very good for dealing with all this Murmillo, because they are infantry. They will melt to those throwing axemen. While he continues to use this raiding party to just put pressure on, I would just continually keep bringing them in to harass the citizens, just like this. Two different control groups of raiding cavalry mixed with Valkyrie to come in and just continually put pressure on, maybe pick off some manors, pick off some watchtowers, and keep the Atlantean player confined to his base and force him to chase these cavalry all around with his Murmillo that they will never catch. They can just continue to put pressure on, deal some damage, poke, deny gathering, and then peel off, and then rotate with the other group. I wouldn't engage. I would just split them off equally into two equal groups and just continually harass while you buy yourself time to get enough of these throwing axemen and Herser. Herser being an infantry hero, good against myth units, but it's just kind of like a solid unit. Good to tank against these Murmillo while the throwing axemen shred. He's going to lose a house here if he's not careful. So just get more of those. More Herser, less raiding cavalry. He has tons. If he just protects the cavalry he has, he's going to be in a great position to just keep raiding, keep the pressure on, keep recalling units, keep the mining to a minimum, while he buys himself time to get the necessary competition to deal with all these Murmillo and then just suffocate and strangle the Atlantean player. Atlantean player up here is still mining. As we see, Duncan is properly stabilized. He has 11 on gold, 4 on wood, 4 on food, and just 2 for each resource for our Atlantean player. We do see a deconstruct popping off of the longhouse. This is great. If you were to put more pressure on, as he is now, this is good. putting this pressure on is key. But if he was more relentless with the pressure he was placing upon the Atlantean player, he would be forcing more of him to come back, and I would just be rebuilding more longhouses. Put up another couple longhouses, maybe back here a little bit more. Keep pumping out Herser, put more, maybe secure a settlement now over here. I know he's hurting for resources, so perhaps just getting the longhouses up and getting throwing axemen and building up enough composition to deal with this is key. Look, coming way over here, I'm not a fan of. If he just hovers, right, attacks here, he gets repelled, comes to like here. And as soon as he sees the army come back, go right back in, put more pressure on this tower, attack the citizens of the gold mine. It doesn't even matter if you lose a cavalry here, a cavalry there, because it's going to force this army to come back and deal with this, because he can't mine, he's losing resources, which means he's not going to be able to continue his production, and he's losing his buildings slowly. So he has to deal with this. It's so much pressure, so much focus. Whereas if he continues to leave these guys out here, like the more time they spend out here, spend away, not immediately coming back and again, poking and dealing, these chip damage to these buildings, to these citizens, it's going to give the Atlantean player a chance to just come up here and start ripping down these buildings. But now we see tons of throwing axemen, good amount of Herser, got some raiding cavalry mixed in. This is a significant threat. So now he needs to come down with this, maybe engage with both of his forces. Perhaps not. Maybe just engage with his main force here. Come in, attack the Murmillo, destroy the Murmillo, and then continue to use the raiding cavalry to keep harassing. Maybe split them up into two groups. Keep one group attacking these citizens over here, another group attacking these citizens over here. But as we can see, the Atlantean player, he has a ton of wood, but he's hurting for food. He does not have a lot of gold. Whereas Duncan now has such a lead in villagers. Look, just two for the Atlantean player. Now Duncan has so many villagers. He's stabilized so much. He's done such a great job. Although he has slacked quite a bit with not keeping the raids up as just hellishly and relentlessly as they could be. He's done a great job and done enough of a job to secure the... Oh, what happened to this army? What has happened here? What is going on? Where is the majority of this? I see, it's down here. I don't like this. He should be... I wish he would have cleaned this up more and just put a few units here to continue to stop any production that come out. But he is going to clean this building up. But I would just love to see him put more units to this to clean this up. But this is the beginning of the end. The Atlantean player does not have enough resources to keep this up. He has basically no citizens, very little army. Duncan's totally stabilized, has tons of military units, tons of pressure, and there's just nothing that the Atlantean player can do. Just like a cobra biting the elephant, the poison is in. That's it. You can thrash around all you want. You can make all the noises you want, but there's nothing you can do. You're going down. There's just too much pressure, too much stabilization, too far of a lead that the Norse player has. Look, this is exactly what I mean. You don't need to go this far out. You have no towers putting pressure on you. The military units are melee units. So you just come here. You don't have to go way out here. Then it's just increasing the amount of time it takes to come back. Spending this time... Okay, I like that the Valkyrie are here to heal up the raiding cavalry that take damage from the Murmillo. That's pretty cool. But continue to put pressure on. Don't let him get any little bit of stabilization. The Murmillo being cleaned up here. You see, if he committed more... I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's annoying, but he's going to clean this up regardless. So ultimately, it's going to be okay. These citizens moving out here. Hopefully, Duncan spots this. He doesn't, though. He needs to take this force, apply pressure here. Look, Giba's getting a chance to stabilize. He's probably going to say GG. But because of all this time that he's giving, with the raiding cavalry not coming in to continue to put pressure on, this army finally now perhaps getting the hint to move in. But just so much time. I know. You got to be like putting farms down, worrying about getting the next age, micromanaging your economy, your villagers, building. But like that's just going to help you get more of a lead. But that's not going to matter if the army doesn't. Like the lead you're going to get from the army putting pressure on the enemy is like that lead is 100 times more powerful than the economic lead you're going to get because you're already ahead. Like I love that the citizens are going down. Awesome. But look, he's got a chance to build more of an army back up because you're letting him mine here. So great. Love that you killed these 2 citizens. That's huge because he only has probably fucking 2 more. Yeah. But if you had these raiding cavalry split into 2 control groups, there you go. There's the GG. Atlantean player ends it, but you could have had that happen much sooner. Instead of grabbing this town center, just take this massive force you have. You can't attack. You can't kill this. Bring this over here. Put pressure. Start chipping down these manors so you can't train any more units. Split these raiding cavalry up into 2 groups. Couple Valkyrie in each. Maybe add a couple more raiding cavalry, but not even necessary. Split it into 2 groups, or even just keep it the same group. And just continue to come in, break this tower down, keep denying the gold, and just keep putting damage on this. You're gonna take some damage from the town center. You're gonna take some damage perhaps from Murmillo. Bring him like right over here, heal up a bit, and then as soon as you see the Murmillo turning back, while you have some time to heal up your units, immediately bring him back. Now I get it. You have Fog of War. You're not gonna be able to see him, but like just make a judgment call, right? Like, how often is he going to stay there? Bring him back, heal for a second or 2, pop back in for a second, see if they're still there. Okay, they're still there. Bring him back. And then while the Murmillo are here, that's when you're coming in with your main army attacking, breaking these manors down, population capping him, and using the raiding cavalry to deny resource gathering while you continue to stabilize at home. You don't need to really focus so much economically because you're already ahead. No. So using the military to just solidify the victory by just putting nonstop pressure on and just suffocating him with that pressure. That's what I would like to see, but excellent match. I commend Giba in the beginning for attacking with his Prometheans, with his oracles, just doing an early rush, time shifting his temple and a counterbrax. He had it. There was a window where he just had the advantage, and he could have used that to really keep the Norse player in his base. If he would have scouted with some Terma, he could have saw that he was over here mining gold, getting this hunt, and getting these berries. He could have denied that a lot earlier, but because that went on for such a long time, it gave Duncan a chance to stabilize, unfortunately, giving him the win. So what a great match. A little bit of a longer match, riding on about 30 minutes now. But great game to cast for our first cast. GG's to both players. I learned a lot just from watching. It was very entertaining, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Man, what an exciting game. Coming at you in the editing booth, editing the video, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching my very first game that I've casted. Drop some comments in the comment section. Let me know how I did. If you have any tips, let me know what you liked about this match. Let me know maybe what your favorite moment was. And hey, come join the Discord. Be a part of the community that I am starting to build. Upload your recorded games if you would like me to cast your games. And if you want to support the channel and this community financially, you can tap the link in the description to go to the Patreon page to donate. And before I take my leave, I'm going to throw up the current patrons for this community, for the channel, and just give them a big shout out. Thank you guys for supporting me. You're amazing. And I'm so excited to see you in the next video.